Hey guys, I'm Rachel Cruz.
I'm George Camel.
And this is
Smart Money Happy Hour.
Oh, do that again. There we go.
Wow.
I can't drink it with the topper. Can I just set it on the table? Is that just bad etiquette?
That's fine.
Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I like it.
No one's listening anymore. They've all dropped off.
All right. This is the show where two friends who happen to be money experts talk about what you're talking about. So everything from pop culture, current events, and money.
In today's episode, Rachel, we're celebrating the 4th of July.
We are.
In a big way, we're talking about financial independence. That is what we declare today for all of you watching and listening. So stay tuned for Talk of Hamilton, Martina McBride, and whether or not financial freedom is something you should actually be working toward. Hot takes there. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Well, while we chat about all that, what are we sipping on, George?
We're sipping on an American Collins, a patriotic drink with some red and blue in there, some cherries, some blueberries.
It's beautiful. Very color coordinated.
We tried really hard with our blue and red drink here today. So stick around till the end. We're going to give you the cost per glass, reveal our rating, and recipe will be in the show notes.
So great.
So let me be the first to say a triumphant and hearty America.
America.
Smells like bald eagles and freedom in here, Rachel, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Martina McBride.
You going to sing it?
It's Independence Day. No, I wish I could. Oh
can I give you a taste? Let freedom ring.
Man, it's just like it hits the soul.
Does it?
4th of July is a great holiday.
Can I be honest? Just listening to that song today for the first time.
No.
I don't know if that's un-American.
George.
But I'll be honest, was not impressed until the chorus hit at 1 minute and 20 seconds. Took her forever. Reba would not have done that. She would have got to that chorus within 40 seconds. Give the people what they want.
I don't know if you can hate on Martina and
Name
Independence
3 Martina
Day.
McBride songs.
This one's for the girls. Independence Day. And we got a...
Just saying. I'm just saying. Gotcha.
Well, it's a great song.
Either way, let me just tell you, I love this great country of ours. It's, it's flawed. It's got its problems.
Yeah.
But it's the greatest one out there.
It's wonderful. We love it. And we're here to celebrate it. And we're here to celebrate not just the freedom in America, but about how to be financially free. Because again, financially free, independence, financial peace, like these are things we're going for when it comes to our money.
And there's some caveats with financially free, financial independence, financial peace. What's the difference? Which one should you go after? And a lot of people have thrown out this phrase, financial independence. We've heard of the FIRE movement, right? Financial independence, retire early.
Yes.
So this has been circulating around the internet, and we're going to give you our takes today. And sometimes to know where you're going to go, you got to know where you're not going. That's a part of this.
That is, yeah. And I just feel like where we've come from, George, from the history of this great holiday that we're celebrating.
Yes.
It actually kind of started in your neck of the woods, old Boston.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what does financial codependence look like? The opposite of independence. Yeah. And are you unfairly answering to a financial bully? Who is your Great Britain in your life,
Ooh,
if
I like
you will?
that.
So let's go back, George.
Let's go back.
Let's go back to 1776, shall we?
Simpler times, and yet so much more complicated.
There's a lot there. Yeah, the American Revolution. Do you remember anything like history class? Go back.
We did it.
Don't you?
I know that.
It happens.
But no, I don't. I truly don't remember much because all of my knowledge comes from The Patriot with Mel Gibson, which I know is not totally accurate, but that's where all of my historical American knowledge comes from. Just like Space Jam is where all of my sports knowledge comes from. I'm not bragging. It's just
that's
where we're at.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Well, there's a great statement, if you will. You ready for this?
Yep.
No taxation without representation.
That's
which,
right.
Again, according to TikTok standards, it's a pretty great catchphrase.
I think for back then, that was hip.
Yeah.
That was a real
taxation
catchy,
without representation.
real sticky. And we love a catchphrase around here at Ramsey. We have dead is dumb, cash is king.
Yeah, we have live like no one else. So later you can live and give like no one else. It's great.
I think you need memorable things like that.
For sure, yep. And there are ways that I think, we can rebel and revolt against the system,
Like guilt tipping? Is this what we're revolting against?
That's a good one. Hey, I saw a video, and this is the guy's rule. I thought, brilliant.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Go.
Do you? Okay.
Tell me.
He said, if you're standing up, you don't tip. So if you're like standing to order, I'm not tipping.
I feel like if we go back in the Rolex, the Rolodex of our Smart Money Happy Hours, I probably mentioned that. So I'm going to take credit for it.
Oh my God.
We were hot on the cusp of this guilt
were.
tipping
We
issue.
talked
and I
a
said,
lot about it.
why would I tip when I'm standing?
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But no one remembers that. Took a
Did
guy
you?
making a viral reel on Instagram.
I know, for me to see it.
But that's good.
Yeah,
That's how we revolt.
I think that's good. Yeah, okay, so here's the timeline of how the American Revolution went down financially speaking.
We're focusing on the money here.
You ready?
Okay.
February 1763. So this is before 1776.
Good math.
Yeah, there you go. Just to make sure everyone is on the same
She's sharp.
page. France hands over all of its North American possessions east of the Mississippi to Great Britain after the French and Indian War. So this means it's a big financial win for Britain. But the costs of the war and maintaining an army still forces the British to enact a new tax on the colonists.
Got to pay for that army somehow.
But big mistake, George.
Big. Because just 2 years later, March of 1765, Britain passes the Stamp Act, which now taxes legal documents, newspapers, and even playing cards.
What?
So extra.
Man, why?
So Americans, not happy with this, understandably, they campaigned to have this act repealed, and it actually worked. Healthy conflict.
Look at that.
Still
People standing
possible.
up for what they want. Well done, people.
And this gives them hope that they can avoid future taxes as well. Spoiler alert.
Not necessarily. Not so fast, new Americans.
New Americans, I like that.
So in October 1768, British troops arrive in Boston.
What accent?
Boston. I don't know how to do a Boston accent.
I
Go.
want you to keep going until you get there. Truth, I'm really enjoying this.
Boston. Boston?
Sure.
British troops arrive in Boston, George.
Woo.
Love Boston, to enforce the Townshend duties, which is more taxes.
I know what duties are because the duty-free airport store,
That is true.
which are a ripoff, by the way.
Wow.
Don't buy stuff from there. It's a total ripoff.
Really?
It's tax-free, but the prices are insane.
Oh, yeah, they up the prices to do it. Yeah,
And it's usually alcohol.
it happens, so be aware.
Fast forward 2 more years, it's March of 1770 now. The British soldiers and an angry mob of colonists, there's a street fight. 5 people die. Americans call it the Boston Massacre. The best part, the British called it the incident on King Street, which just proves that biased news has existed forever.
There it is, yeah.
Way to change the narrative. 5 people dying, is that a massacre or an incident?
Pick your
I'm going to
I
go
don't know.
massacre.
We'll go. Every life is valuable.
That's right.
So now, April of 1775, there's been 5 more years of intimidation tactics and economic oppression pushed upon Americans, and they rebelled. And that's when the first shots of the American Revolution were fired at Lexington and Concord. April of 1775, George.
I think I remember that part of Hamilton. That's where it got real good.
You know, I've never seen Hamilton.
It's time. It's on Disney Plus. It's not that
I
hard.
know. Everyone says how great it is. I know.
I think that happened in Hamilton.
Okay, but I didn't
I
know
feel like there was a shot or two.
And then the next date is October 1781. I didn't realize, I'll be honest, I don't think I realized that the war was 5 years long.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Almost 6.
Yeah.
The Revolutionary War in 1781 of October ended at Yorktown. And go to listen to the Hamilton soundtrack, Rachel. This is where I get my historical knowledge now. But get this, New York City and Charleston, South Carolina remained under British rule for another 2 years until a peace treaty was signed.
Man.
How is this possible?
So what's crazy is even after America drew and upheld their financial boundaries, there was still some codependency that took some time to fully break.
Wow. So deconstructing and rebuilding an entire economic system, it takes time. And it's impossible to get every citizen and state on the same page about national identity and economic affairs. Which brings us to today's conversation. This is what you came here for. It's what you paid $0 to hear.
But you're welcome for the history lesson, everyone.
That was
I know
actually
they're
very
so
helpful.
thankful.
It does make me go like, I'd watch a documentary now to just catch up.
You know,
good
I'm a
Ken
World War
Burns
II.
doc.
I'm good at the World War II time frame.
But previous to that,
The
it's just like a
American
little too old.
Revolution, not so sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say anything within the last 100 years feels a little more relevant. You know?
That would be true.
1770s, I'm like, that's too far
It's a
back
little
from my
too,
brain.
wigs and
But it's good to
men
know.
in
You know what they say? If you don't
long-tailed coats.
know history, it's bound to be repeated or something like there's a quote. I think Churchill or
We should And it's actually probably very important that we go back and
That's right.
revisit history.
So today's conversation, financial independence versus financial codependence.
Yep.
So we talked about these terms, financial freedom, financial independence, financial peace, whatever you want to call it. The sentiment here is that people like to have ownership and full control of their finances. It's empowering.
Yeah. And I think too, even if you can be free of your finances, meaning like you have a plan, all of this, you still have to be like, okay, I have to handle money, right? Regardless of where you are, like you have to handle money in today's world. And so understanding, yes, the freedom of that is really important, but also other implications of handling money in today's world.
That's right. And we can never be fully independent because of the world we live in. There's pieces, there's strings attached, if you will.
It is the sad thing, you pay off your house.
You still got property taxes.
You still got to pay taxes. And if you don't pay taxes, they'll put a lien on the house and you don't have that. I mean, like, it's kind of crazy how they kind of still have their strings attached to us, George.
Well, then it's like, do I do that or I live off the grid in the woods? Like, is that a life?
I don't know. They may be happier.
Well, let's talk about the positives of taxes.
Okay.
There's a few. Those
I'll
things
go
we
public
appreciate.
schools. Thank you.
That's a good one. So here's some healthy financial codependence that we have with the government. Public education, like you mentioned.
Yep, we appreciate
Paved
that.
roads, appreciate that.
We do. Thank you. Gravel, not the best. Paved road.
Potholes, not a fan.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Healthcare, that can go either way,
Yeah,
but that's a thing. Parks, public parks, recreation,
sure.
appreciate that. Libraries,
Yes.
they still exist and they're wonderful.
Yep. Story times. It's great.
Public
Kids love it.
transportation,
Yes.
like we have in Boston, that's wonderful. Police and fire services, and military
that.
protection.
Yeah. So there's some
Which shout out
positives.
to all the service members out there.
Yes.
Thank you for your service and sacrifice.
For sure.
That's the stuff I'm like, okay, I'm happy to pay for those things.
But financial codependence can turn toxic real fast when its government gets involved in our own personal finances,
There's
George.
some overstepping here.
This is what happens. That's what's hard is I'm like, yes, there are things that we have to pay for, regardless of who you are. And we will do that, right? Or we go to jail. So we will do that. But then
we can admit there's
start,
things the government's not good at.
But then, and then you start to kind of lean on the government more and more. And I do think that's where it starts to strip away a little bit of this like independence, right? Like depending on the government, that whole student loan debacle that we all walked through. But this like real false hope. It was really sad.
Will they or won't they forgive our student loans?
I know,
We played that game for far too long. And people still have hope. Even after everything came down, like, yep, not going to happen. Supreme Court said, nope, not on my watch.
Yep.
And people are still out there not paying their student loans because they're hoping one person or politician will fix it all.
Right. That's right.
And another one is Social Security. People are relying on the government's version of a retirement plan, and we're seeing the numbers.
It may not even be around. Have you seen this? By the time, I think it's not necessarily us.
It'll be at like 80%
yeah,
in 2034.
Like it's not looking good. And that kind of sucks that it's getting taken out of our paycheck. I wish I could just keep it
You're
and
forced
invest
to pay forever.
and choose to
And they don't do a great job investing it, clearly. No. And the average payout is about $1,700 last year, a month.
Oh, wow,
which is not a lot to live off of. And some people get less than that, like $900 a month. And so it's not a whole lot to live off of, especially with how expensive life is these days.
Right.
And people go, well, Social Security will be there for me, so why invest for retirement? You have to be in control.
It's good. Yeah, but at the end of the day, financial codependence in our personal lives may be the type of codependence that affects us most often. So when you think about comparison culture, for instance, and how that can dictate our financial decisions.
That's a version of codependence. So like buying a house because all your friends are buying houses.
Depending on what everyone is doing, the thing that's going on, what people, it's like you kind of get into this trend, right? Or this life stage, and you start to kind of forfeit a little bit of your decision-making, sometimes subconsciously, just because it's kind of the norm. It's what everyone's doing. So you kind of just fall into that bucket.
Going into a debt for a flashy car to impress your friends, wasting your money on a designer bag just for the status. No, you've never done that, Rachel.
Never.
But it's a thing people do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that, you have to watch your purchases and ask yourself, how much of this is just for me to enjoy and that I like? And if this thing is taken away from me, I am still me. I'm good. Like my identity, who I am, my contentment is not so tightly wound into this like lifestyle, right? I mean, I think it's an important conversation.
And even outside of comparisons, another area here, relying on your parents' income too far into adulthood.
Yes, I know.
This is a tough one. Because I don't want to like hate on the people who live at home because everyone has their reasons and situations. But there's a level where it's like you got to just fly the coop. You got to go be an independent adult and get some mojo and independence in your life.
Yeah, and I do know, I mean, right or wrong, but for sure parents, that, kids are like in private school and they pay for that tuition for the family, the grandparents, or the parents help pay for X, Y, and Z. I mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot of parents that I think do reach down and kind of support and help.
But at what point
Maybe
is
more.
that coddling or enabling?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have an age for your kids where you're like, hey, Amelia, Charles, if you're still in the house by this age, like you're out?
In the house or
Yeah.
lifestyle-wise stuff?
But like financial support, like let's say they've graduated college. What then?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say there's a season after college, 6 months, a year, where they're kind of figuring out, where do I want to go, right? I feel like that's a fair assumption. But I think what's hard too is the world today. I'm just thinking of one person in my head, and they work really hard. So the idea that the parents do help out in the kid's situation, like they do help. And the kid, though, the child, I say kid, adult child, is a hard worker. There's not like oh my gosh, it's just they had a certain career that they have, and it doesn't produce a ton.
It's not enough to sustain a independent lifestyle.
It's enough to sustain it, I would say. But then there's like these things, like whether it's private school for their kids that they really value or whatever. I don't know, certain things that a grandparent who has done well reaches down. It's like, yeah, we'll help take care of that, and that. Would that be considered coddling to you?
No, I think it depends on the person and their own sense of entitlement and drive.
Yes, that's
like
my
if
thing.
It's
It's more
expected,
of an attitude thing for me, this
Yeah.
whole conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think it's an interesting one. But I think you do find a sense of dignity when you are more financially independent, right? And it's not up to your parents to still support you. I think
I grew up
true.
fast. When I moved out of the house at 20 and I moved across the
you're done.
country,
You gotta
I
figure it
feel
out.
like I matured in a way that I could not have if I stayed at home.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
That's all.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Here's the other side of this, Rachel. Another side of codependence. Parents relying on their children to pay for their medical care, nursing home costs, or we didn't prepare for retirement, and kids, you got to take care of us forever now.
Okay, so you know what's so hard? I know we're talking about America here, but it is a very cultural thing. Like you go to
America's
other
very
countries,
independent.
It's a very independent mindset. You go to other countries or cultures, and it's a expected. Then as the adult child, then you do take in the parents and you do help, right? The multi-generational. I mean, so I don't know what's right or wrong, and it's probably more about the person than the system or the set of traditions or expectations, but that's real.
Yeah, we get those calls on the Ramsey show. Maybe they're from, Asia or India or South America, and it's just sort of this very familial, like we all live
That's what
together
it
and the
is.
parents move in with us and we help
Yep.
take care of them. And there's a beauty in that too.
Right,
So it's not there's a
right.
right or wrong, but if there's an expectation that, hey, I'm not going to prepare it all financially and it's going to be on you guys to
Yes.
pause your financial life to take care of us, there's a toxicity there that I think needs to be addressed.
And what's hard is a lot of adult children now, they don't even have their finances together. Like they're barely getting by. They're living paycheck to paycheck. So then to expect to be able to take care of two other adults,
Yeah.
it starts to crumble.
Well, they
really
call this
quick.
the sandwich generation because you're trying to take care of your kids, but you're also trying to take care of your elderly parents. And so now you're stuck financially going, you're bleeding out all the ways. That's a tough
George.
place to be.
This 4th of July episode went
a real
real
bummer.
deep, real sad fast.
Well, here's some.
Should we just give out money and everyone be okay?
I'm okay with that if you're willing to donate. Here's another one. We're still on the codependent side. We'll get to the good stuff. Don't worry. But here's the other one. One spouse holds all the financial power. The other gets an
Oh,
allowance.
boo. Boo.
She
Stop
says
that.
boo.
Stop that. If that is you, y'all stop that. No.
I
No.
confronted someone about this
Good.
on my YouTube channel.
Good.
Won't name names, but it was dark. Because I said, it was about separate bank accounts. And I said, well, what happens when, like, let's say she stays home one day and you guys have kids and she decides, and I said, well, I'll give her an allowance because I'm the bread. And I was like, I don't know that Whitney would let me live if I told her, hey, babe, here's your allowance for the month. As
I
if
know.
she's not putting in as much or more.
And
more
what's so
work.
interesting is that like, it goes both ways. It's like the man has that to the wife, but then also we'll talk to women that are like, yeah, well, I just tell him what he can,
Yeah.
And then
Or
it becomes
she
this
handles all the
mothering
finances.
Yeah, and then it becomes this mothering feeling. I don't know. It's just no. Equal people. You all have equal say.
Isn't
You gotta-
America all about equal
Sure.
opportunity?
Yes. And same in a marriage. Come on, let's don't do that. Yeah.
I like that.
I love the it's the unity.
Yep.
Unity piece.
You want codependence that actually involves the word co?
Yeah.
A relative asks you or a friend asks you to co-sign a hefty loan because their credit isn't where it should be.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. If you need a cosigner, it's because if you need a cosigner, it's because the person trying to buy the thing is not good with money. And the bank at least sees that. And it's like, oh, we don't trust that person. So we need to go find someone trustworthy. So then it's you. And then the untrustworthy person ends up missing payments or whatever. And then you're on the hook for it. And we hear those stories.
Almost every time on the Ramsey show, someone calls in and says, I co-signed. They're calling in because the person stopped paying. And now they're on the hook and they're wondering what to do. And
sometimes the person that stops paying, they're a good person. It's not like they're evil and trying to scurry out, even though we've heard those stories. But it's like, oh my gosh, they lost their job. Like stuff happens in life. And they're not prepared, so then it ends up being on you. So don't co-sign.
Just say no.
Just say no.
Put that boundary up and say, love you, bro. But
just say no. Was that from Dare back in school?
Yeah. Just say no to drugs and co-signing.
Yes.
I don't know if that's it's not a great tagline. They'll need to workshop that.
I think it feels great.
All right. This one falls into a similar category of unreliable people. A moocher who never pays you back.
That's
some codependence right there. If you're constantly covering the cost for a friend and they're like, bro, I'll get you. They're not going to Venmo you. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And so I don't think friendships should run off of passive-aggressive Venmo requests. That's no way to live.
Yeah. No.
So I either gift it if I'm cool, if it's just like, hey, man, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Then it's not living in your head rent-free. There's no resentment building because you're like, that guy owes me money. And it ends up hurting a relationship. I've never seen it where it does not hurt the relationship.
Or it's not great. Oh, man. All right, let's go to the ultimate. Codependence. Debt.
Ooh, she said it. She said what she said. Period.
You are dependent upon now a system with your income, with your lifestyle, with all of it. And it is, it's detrimental, George. It is.
It does feel, it's so weird because America is #1 in debt, and yet we're all about freedom. And debt is the opposite of freedom.
Yep.
So we've talked about financial freedom, and we also said that you can't really be free totally because you still have to pay your taxes. There's still things to be paid. But I like the term financial peace better than freedom, and even financial independence where you're in control. And I think that's what we need to focus on.
I love that. Well, speaking of financial independence, George, let's see what that looks like.
Let's talk shop.
So this is things like living without debt, living without credit cards, having money saved in the bank.
Having an emergency fund.
That's right.
That's some freedom.
3 to 6 months of expenses. Something happens, you have cash there that you can go to. You're not having to depend on the credit card for your emergency fund. You're saving up for retirement, like we talked about earlier, 15% of your income. And it's just fantastic. I mean, there's a level of that financial independence.
Oh, yeah.
That you are self-sustained. And then it does allow you to make choices in your life and different decisions because money's not the obstacle. You have the margin and the cushion to make some decisions that may be big life decisions, changing a job or moving, but you're good because you got money saved and no payments.
And the ultimate version of this is at the end of the Ramsey baby steps that we talk about is paying off your home early, getting you to the pinnacle there. And so owning your house free and clear, that's about the most American thing I can think of. And what I love is there's actually a symbol that people get to put over their door, and it's an eagle.
Really?
And that represents that you've paid off your home.
I've heard that.
Have you heard this?
Yes.
I've seen it a few times, but if you have an eagle over the door, it generally symbolizes that that house is owned free and clear by that person. There's no mortgage on the property.
That's amazing.
And so I think that's a beautiful
the government
representation.
Still owns dirt.
Okay, Rachel, come on. Can you just be positive for once?
Just speaking the truth, George.
Well, I think I'm going to get you.
It really hit me the other day, y'all. It really hit me. I thought, oh my gosh.
That you'll never own anything?
And cars, you got to pay the tags, get the tags renewed.
Sure.
But so there's a level
But that's a part of living in society, but you don't owe anyone money. It's not debt. It's an expense.
You'd have tax debt if you didn't pay it.
But I'm just saying, you pay your electric bill. Is that a debt? You got to pay electric bill to
No, because
live.
I used electricity from a service that I don't own.
Did you not use the roads that you drove your vehicle on?
I did.
There you go.
But is that property tax?
I was talking about your car tags in that instance.
Oh, okay.
But property taxes go to fund all the things in your community.
Does it? Do we know taxes that will anyone?
Yes. Like what we talked about. In your community, you pay taxes to the county. The county uses that money, hopefully partially, to fund the public education and the firemen and the police.
That is true. I do know. Yeah. So, yeah. If property taxes are up, it is part of that is for schools. That is true.
So change your tune. Why am I the positive one for once? This is what has happened.
It feels funding. I'm mad all the time. Is this how you feel?
Yes. Now you know. It's
so
very
critical.
energizing.
Just so critical.
Well, I love it.
Oh my gosh.
It's all about living the life you want to enjoy.
That's right.
And if you can't do the things you want to do because of debt, because of codependency, you're doing it wrong. And speaking of independence, Rachel, there's one area where I like to own things and I don't like other people to own it. And that is with my information online.
Oh,
Frightening.
that's good.
And it's why I
Fair.
use and love Delete Me. And they're one of the sponsors of today's episode. And they find and remove your information all across the internet from these data broker websites. And they send you a report outlining exactly what they did every 2 months. And it's great. They've saved me 33 hours. They show me how much time they saved, how many sites they removed me from. And it gives me great peace of mind. And I feel like a true American. Saying, no one's going to own me and my information.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
I'm taking it.
Because what's crazy is, and I was even on a website looking at some stuff for the summer, and you put in your information certain places to get this or that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally thought, like, who knows? Who knows? And I do click that accept all cookies button, which I probably shouldn't.
And then they're tracking you all over the internet.
I know, and they track me, and they know, and then I mean, who knows? Who knows what's happening out there? So
help protect yourself.
Delete Me it's a fantastic service.
And what's great is for our Smart Money Happy Hour fans, Delete Me is giving them 20% off any of the Delete Me plans. So all they need to do is go to joindeleteme.com/smartmoney or click the link in the description.
Amazing.
Check it out.
I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so if financial peace is the goal, realistically, how do we get there? So let's start with number one. I would say start with a united front. If you are married,
that's good.
Work together. Actually be on a team. Sit down, do your budget together, have a plan of goals, like getting out of debt or an emergency fund. Start working together. I'd also say ditch the old system and start a new one, you know?
Ooh.
If you are not happy with where you are financially, do something different and just say, hey, let's start a new system, right? So maybe you take Financial Peace University.
That's
maybe
what it did for me.
Yeah, maybe you read some books, maybe you listen to some podcasts, put new information in your head and in your brain, and do something differently. And then also, live today with the future in mind. I think that long-term thinking is really important when it comes to money and being wise.
We're very short-sighted in today's world. It's just ADD brain. We're thinking about this weekend. You got to think about what happens 5-10 years from now. Who do I want to be? What kind of life do I want to live?
That's right.
And can I say, this united front it feels like civil war sometimes in people's lives. Why are you against your spouse? You're on the same team. Act like it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Why are we
You're
attacking
not Great
each
Britain
other?
and America.
Yeah.
You jumped wars on me.
Well,
Can we stay American Revolution,
Well, I was just
Boston?
thinking about the united front and how important that is to have a united front.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Otherwise, it turns into a civil war. We don't want that.
No, we do not.
All right, that's good stuff.
All right, George. I think it's time to have a little fun, you know?
Yeah, you're right. This has been a real drab episode, thanks to you.
Let freedom ring.
Let freedom ring. Martina, call me.
Oh, my
Is she still alive?
gosh.
Phew. I just didn't want to get dragged in the comments.
Okay, so let's have our producer, Skylar. She's going to read a financially codependent scenario to us, and then we have to have a declaration of financial independence.
That's clever.
So it's kind of like a president who's giving a declaration, right?
I've never done that, but I'll try my best.
We will try. Okay. All right, Skylar. Scenario one.
Your group of friends who all rely heavily on Southwest credit card points want to go to a luxurious trip to Cancun in 2 months. You're trying to pay off debt, and you could put that on pause to join the fun, but you don't want to derail your progress.
Ooh. So I'm in debt. My friends are all taking this fun trip. Don't want to derail progress. What is my declaration?
My declaration.
How do you, I do declare. How does that start? I don't know how to make a declaration.
I know. I think you say,
I declare boundaries.
Shoot, I want to go so bad, but I can't. That would be mine.
That's it? That's your big declaration? The troops are there watching. They're waiting for you to rally them.
Oh, we're supposed to give a big speech?
I thought it was a big speech.
Shoot.
If Mel Gibson did that in The Patriot, they would all just be like, they'd all just walk away and be like, we're
What
going
was
home,
yours?
man.
I'd say, oh, dadgummit. That sounds...
I would say, I do
sounds
declare
fun.
I'm broke. I would say,
can't.
listen, guys, thanks for the invite. You gotta have fun. I'm working on paying off my debt. I'll be there next year.
Okay, there you go. Great.
Put the boundaries up.
Get the
you know
war
what?
started.
If they're real friends, they're going to go, oh, cool, man, no worries.
Yeah, they should already know you're doing it.
If they're not cool with that, find better friends. All right, next conundrum.
Your sister's pregnant with her first child, and she wants you to throw her the baby shower of her dreams. You're excited to celebrate her, but her Pinterest inspo board doesn't align with your realistic budget.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's what I would say. You have such great taste. This looks amazing. I just don't think I have the money to do it. So, do you have a plan B, or do you want me to try to get creative and do as best as of a job I can?
That's pretty good.
That feel good? Feel right?
Yeah, I would be honest and say, love the Pinterest inspo. Here for it. I don't think we can pull that off with the budget that we have.
That's what I said.
I think mine was more clear. I think mine was more clear. You're like, they get creative. Now she's like, yeah, get creative. Pull it off.
Yeah.
I would also get see if the group of gals can help contribute. And then we say, here's the budget, and we're going to do as best as we can with the budget that we get.
Love it.
And you know what? Her feelings might be hurt, and that's
Would
okay.
they, though?
Yeah,
I guess some people would be.
It's like one layer below Bridezilla sometimes with these baby showers. And there's the sprinkle, but they want the sprinkle to be as big as the shower, even though it's a sprinkle.
Hold on. Do people really want that? Because I enjoyed like a nice baby shower. I didn't need over the top. And then my sprinkle, I had some friends when we went to Don Julio's Mexican restaurant and they gave me diapers.
You're not the problem. I'm just saying not all women are as chill as you. Anyways.
Well, let freedom ring.
Let freedom ring. That's what I say. Okay, another conundrum, please.
Your family goes out to eat every Sunday after church, and you typically split the bill evenly. You and your spouse are the only family without kids, and you're really trying to save up cash for a new car. Because you're outnumbered, you always spend more than you would if you just paid for your own budget-friendly orders.
Yeah. Okay. You ready for this?
Hit me.
Hey guys, so good to see you.
Why are you starting like that?
Because I'm seeing everyone at the restaurant.
Hey, guys.
Hey guys, so good to see everyone. Oh my gosh, this food looks so good.
What are you trying to tell us, Rachel? If I'm at this lunch, I'm like, Rachel's not doing okay. Are you looking at the menu?
No. I'm just sitting there.
So the food's already sitting there.
Oh, well,
Have we ordered yet?
no.
Okay. Where are you seeing the food then? It's like a Mexican restaurant that has the pictures on the menu, like one of those? Got it. Okay. I'm going there with you now. I'm there.
Oh, man.
We're looking at the menu. We're all enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, we're all enjoying it. And I say, oh, wow, this food looks really good. Me and Winston are just going to have water.
Winston and I.
But whatever, George Camel. Stupid grammar police. Winston and I just have water today. And this looks so great. And I just glad to be here. But we're not going to probably do a bill. Like, I think you
We're probably not going to do a bill.
You opt out of the food completely. Then it's a very obvious, oh my gosh, they're doing something so different. So we're not going to make them pay for anything because they didn't eat anything.
Just get past that. We're probably not going to do a bill. Why not just say, before you ever make it to the lunch, just say, hey, guys, we're going to have to skip today. You have a good time.
But you go, see, no.
Are you forced to go?
Because it's fun. If you enjoy your family, you want to be there.
Are you going to eat before you go?
Or after, but we're going to have water.
I'm going to be starving watching everyone eat.
Well, suck it up. I'm sorry.
Okay, what if it's a Mexican restaurant and there's chips and salsa? And they served you and you partook and there's no bill.
And then I'd give a $5 tip. If I was just eating free chips and salsa,
yes.
Yeah, I'd give a $5 tip.
Okay.
Right? I mean, isn't this fair?
Yeah. And then I would say, we're probably not going to do a bill whenever the server comes over.
What would you do? Would you just you would skip the whole event totally. Well, and it's every Sunday. So then I wouldn't feel as bad.
You typically split the bill evenly. You're the only family without kids. You're trying to, well, I mean, the whole point here is just say, hey, we're going to get our own order. We're not going to get that much. You guys will all be on different checks. As soon as you get there, just tell the waiter, hey, we're going to be on different checks.
Whatever. But aren't they in debt? They're not supposed to be going
out
to eat anyways?
They never said anything about debt.
Oh.
They just want to save up for a new car.
Oh,
They're trying to save for a new car in cash. Well, a new to them car in cash.
Shoot. Okay, fine. Whatever. Yours is better.
But you know what? We're probably not going to do a bill. I'm going to go to stores from now on and just get stuff and be like, you know what? Probably not going to
do a bill.
I don't think you need to charge me for any of this. I'm probably not going to do a bill. So that's good.
Anyways,
that was fun.
I would make it an obvious,
That's a good declaration.
All right, George. What an episode.
That was mostly fun.
Man, yeah, the war thing really took me down.
It really threw me off. Yeah, all that bummer historical stuff.
Yeah.
Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah. Let freedom ring. All right, George, man, that was something. Okay, well, we're almost to the end of the episode, and we close out every episode with
Guilty as charged.
And this is where our producer, Skylar, gives us a new guilty as charged question every week. And if we are guilty, we take a sip. Skylar.
Have you ever forgotten the words to one of our American anthems?
Oh, one of? How many are there? There's the national anthem. Is that Star Spangled Banner?
Oh, say, yeah. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Then
I know.
what's the
I
other
like
one?
America.
America the Beautiful.
Beautiful is a
That's
great
another one.
That's a great one.
What's another one?
We got.
There's a third one.
Party in the USA.
Party in USA. Honestly, that one.
Miley.
That one hits. Oh, God Bless America.
Oh yeah, great one.
Are you a fan of that
what's the
one?
one about the hills of Tennessee and across the
Is that an American anthem?
plains of
Like a
God Bless America. God bless the USA.
what's Lee Greenwood's? That's God Bless the
yeah,
USA.
Yeah. I guess that's not considered an anthem. I feel like it had to be
That's a
like
good
older
one.
than that.
Yeah, Star Spangled Banner, I definitely forget. Like when I'm glad to not be the person leading it.
Yes.
Whenever
'Cause
it's
when
being
you do
sung.
see a celebrity like
So
mess it up,
scary.
and it's a hard song to sing, right? Isn't it like one of the most complicated? Like, so I hear.
Complicated.
Yes.
Is it?
Okay. Everyone's nodding. I think it's like known as a really hard song to
Will
sing.
you try it?
No.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? The pitch-wise, it does go a lot of different
Oh
places.
yeah, and I don't have pitch.
I will say.
I have one pitch.
It's a beautiful song. It really is.
For sure.
It gets me every time. I get a little bleary-eyed and teary-eyed.
Do you?
Yeah, it just,
Wow.
when we're all doing it together and like
know.
the hands over the heart, there's something that's like, this is what it should be.
Yeah. I
We're
feel
just
you.
unified. It's not like unbridled nationalism. It's just like, hey, we're all in this thing together. It's a great reminder.
I love it. And yeah, all together in America.
But when it gets to the ramparts, I'm like, what's going on here with the ramparts?
Yeah, we're not sure what that is.
Or the ramparts. Not over, or.
Or
O''ER.
man, maybe I have like saying these really wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a drink. I'm probably guilty.
If they ever ask me to sing this for like, I don't know, a football game, and they invite.
They think George Camel.
Yeah, I'm
What a
gonna
singer.
have like a teleprompter just in
Yeah.
case. I need a
Oh,
guy
I
with
bet.
a cue card just because I don't. When you're
Double
nervous,
check. Yeah.
Can't
and
risk
it's
it.
And it's a long song.
See, I'm guilty, but never publicly because that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
reach out, NFL. Or college football. I'd be willing
Or
to concede
hockey.
to the SEC.
Doesn't like every sporting event mostly you sing it?
Baseball.
Oh,
It's a great American
one. If
pastime.
you did Boston
Red
Red Sox,
Sox.
we would Winston. I would fly up and go.
Okay, if
I
someone has
would.
connections to the Boston Red Sox and you know how to get me on that field, hit me up.
To sing the national
To
anthem.
sing the national
That would-
anthem.
It's not going to happen.
I think I could
but-
nail it. I really do. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but I think I could do a decent job in
I
the right
believe
key.
that. Yeah, I believe that.
I'm no Chris Stapleton, but I get the job done.
Do what you got to do. Do what
Love
you
it.
got to do. All right, George. Who finished their drink first?
think I caught
We're
up.
Pretty.
Even
We're
Stevens.
pretty even. Yeah.
Look at that.
You know, some of the drinks recently just haven't been quite on par. And
Yeah.
this though was fantastic.
It's nice. It's very light.
I
refreshing.
picture by a pool, like 4th of July. If you're at the pool,
Oh, yeah.
this is a great 3:00. You want to pour something? This would be a good
This
one.
is an American Collins, if you forgot. I'm going to give this drink, I'll say 7 out of 10.
I was gonna go 8 out of 10.
Like, there's nothing, I like it. I
Mm-hmm.
wish it was a little more punchier, like a little,
It's a little sweet.
oh, it's a little sweet for you.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a little more of whatever it is. Because it's good, I just want more of it.
Just have some
Like
contentment,
stronger.
George.
A little
Have
more
some
complex.
contentment.
But here's what's in it, Rachel. It's got gin, simple syrup, club soda, lemon juice, blueberries, and Bing cherries.
Ah,
And Michael muddled the blueberries and cherries in there.
wow.
That's you'll notice.
What a servant
Beautiful.
heart he
Yeah,
is.
really good. So check out the recipe in the show notes. Make it to celebrate America's independence, or wherever you're listening in the world, you should also celebrate America's independence.
That's right. Sure. Cinco de Mayo. We love a Mexican birthday.
Yeah, Canada's got a Boxing Day. Is that that's their thing?
Yeah. St. Patrick's Day. Anything?
I
with
don't think that's
Ireland?
celebrating independence.
Nope. Just a saint.
But people in
We're all
Boston,
for the national,
it.
other international holidays.
yeah. Can I just say, God bless the world too, all the nations. Like he wasn't. Jesus wasn't here.
I was
That's all
saying,
I just want to put that out there.
Jesus loves all the little children, all the children
In the
of the
world.
world. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
So
true.
I'm happy to be in this country. I just want to say
The world
I love
is
all
great
of you.
too.
I know we have international listeners, and I feel like sometimes they're left out.
Yeah, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you.
And we know that a lot of this finance stuff doesn't relate to you. So thanks for listening anyways. Like 401ks, what are they talking about? This was fun.
So great. All right. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, you guys. Make sure to share it with your friends and family. That helps us out so much. The word of mouth to get the show out is up to you guys. And we really do appreciate it. We love
huge.
We love seeing your posts on social too, your DMs. I mean, it's so fun. So
Especially the
we
ones
love
that
you
say,
guys.
why do you call it Smart Money Happy Hour if it's only a half hour long? Well, here you go. This episode's too long. Do you like it now? I'm kidding. But if you like this awkward money conversation, we did a whole episode about awkward money conversations that you should check out next. We'll link it in the description below.
So great. All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you next Thursday on an all new episode of
Smart Money Happy Hour.
You are so annoying.